Hey guys, welcome to a new Delta Force video. The alpha has finally started and I thought I'm gonna give you a few tips at hand that might help you to get into the game a bit faster. So we're gonna start with one thing that was kind of a problem in the technical test and wasn't changed for the alpha, and that is the name of hazard operations. You might be wondering what tactical turmoil is. This is hazard operations, this is the extraction mode. I don't know, I think this is a translation error right here and it should be fixed in the next build of the game. And then we're gonna get into the operators, and here we have 6 operators available, but you might see that 2 of them are locked, and when you click on them, it says obtained from events for both of them. So how do you get them? Well, for Vyron, it's actually pretty easy. You go back to the start screen, and then down in the bottom left, there's this little event thingy. And you click on event and then recruit check-in. And this is where you get rewards for logging in daily. You can see there's 16 hours left when I'm making this video for the next reward. And when I log in on the 3rd day, I will get Vyron as an operator. If you don't log in between, I don't know what happens if you only get the one for the 2nd day and then the next time you log in, no matter when this will be, you get the one for the 3rd day. I don't know if it works like that. Or if you don't log in for 5 days or something, you will instantly get all of the rewards that you have missed out on. Now, to get Hackclaw, the 2nd Recon Operator, there are actually 2 ways. The first one is to simply claim it from your operation level. You just play it and then at some point you will automatically unlock her. Or you can unlock her via clicking on normal in events and then in the Asara Bazaar. And here you have additional challenges that you need to do in Havoc Warfare and Tactical Turmoil, and you get these gold Asara coins as rewards. And if you go on the rewards page for this, you can see that for 200 coins you can unlock Hackclaw. But just as a little heads up, that also means that you have to save up all of your coins, because 200 is the maximum, or 210 is the maximum you can get from these missions. So you have to save up all of your coins to buy this operator if you don't want to unlock her through the level. Now, a quick word to missions and rewards. You can see on the right side here, even though the camera's on it, but you can still see it, there are daily challenges. When you click on it, you get to a better overview. And these renew every day, but you can also swap them 3 times in sum with another random challenges. And what's important is that once you have completed them, you need to claim them manually. They're not claimed automatically, so just check in with the event menu every now and again and claim all of your rewards for the stuff you have unlocked. What is even more important is that there are a lot more challenges you can complete. So if you go back from this screen or from the start screen, you go down to event and then click on it. You have the recruit tab. That's the check-in I've already showed you before, so that's just log-in rewards. But you can also find Battle Journey, for example, which is for Havoc Warfare, and then you have the same thing for Tactical Turmoil or Hazard Operations. And these are additional challenges you can complete. And for Havoc Warfare, these are daily challenges, so there's day 1, and then you can click through it, and there are a lot more days coming up here. And this will give you points to unlock a lot of these weapon XP tokens. And at the end, if you can make it so far, you will get this weapon skin for the QBZ95. So be sure to check these out, what you have to do, and complete them, and then get these tokens. And it's the same for hazard operations. You have different challenges right here, and you get other rewards for it that you can use, of course, in this mode. And that leads me to the next point that I just want to mention. When you get these weapon XP tokens, you might be wondering how you actually use them. You cannot activate them, like in Call of Duty, for example, and then they give you double the XP for a certain amount of time while you are playing. But in Delta Force, how they work is you click on a weapon, and then down here at level, and then you click on upgrade. Here you can also see what you can unlock with each weapon level. You go on upgrade, and here you have your weapon XP tokens. And you just click on them, and it instantly, for this intermediate token for example, it instantly gives you 750 XP. You go to upgrade, and now my car is automatically on level 2. So that's how these tokens work. And then while we are here again at the weapons, one thing is important: you are not able to freely change your weapons while you are in a match of Delta Force. You can only swap your loadouts that you have here. You can only freely switch your gadget, that you can also see here, but you cannot switch your primary or secondary weapon. And that means it's important to set up your loadouts right here before you get into a match. Just set them up for different situations, a bit of close range, a bit of long range, mid range, whatever kind of operator you're playing with and whatever kind of playstyle you have. And then there are a lot of things you can do with your weapon. First of all, of course, you can modify it. You can unlock a lot of attachments and play around a lot with them, and some attachments unlock more attachment slots and so on. If you love to tinker with your weapons in the game, this is the absolute perfect game for you. And you can also calibrate different attachments. For example, this optic right here that I have equipped, I can calibrate the zoom, bigger or smaller, or the pupil distance, bigger or smaller. You can also save your loadouts, of course, which is hidden in this loadout screen here. So you just go and save, and then you have custom and save your custom loadout. But what you can also do is share a loadout, and this is made pretty cool, because that means when you want to share a loadout with your friends, you have built a great weapon that you think works wonderfully, you just go and share loadout, and then you get a code right here that you can copy and then share it with whoever you want to, and they can simply import it right here and then apply the loadout, and then they have your exact weapon build without you having to tell them which exact attachment you have used and so on, or they need to copy it from a video or whatever. But what I actually wanted to show you is that when you have clicked the weapon right here in the overview, you can go to details, and this is something really for weapon enthusiasts, because here you can see everything. Damage multiplier, how much damage your weapon does on each and every part of the body. You can see the control, the recoil pattern, and how your current modification changes this pattern, how the handling of the weapon is and how it is changed with your attachments, the stability, the accuracy, and so on. And everything is pretty well explained. So if you want to know more about the weapon you're playing, be sure to take a look at this, it's really worth it. But now let's get into something more gameplay focused. And the first is the reinforcement system. Similar to Battlefield 5, if you have played that game, Delta Force has a reinforcement system. You can bring this up by pressing and holding 5, and these points are earned by basically playing the game, playing the objective, healing your teammates, reviving, and so on. So everything you do in the game gives you points that you can then spend on these reinforcements. And what you can access here as well is the vehicle drop. And this brings up this screen, and from here you can access all of the vehicles that are available right now. But you also have to pay them with these reinforcement points. Another way to access vehicles is of course here from the deploy screen. If you grab them from the deploy screen, you won't need to pay them. Only if you want to call them in, you need to pay them with your reinforcement points, or however they are called. Now on to the spotting system. First of all, whenever you fire your weapon, you will appear as a red dot on the minimap. You can see it right here. All of these little red dots are enemies firing right now. You can reduce this a little bit by using a suppressor on your weapon, but the overview of the suppressors doesn't really tell you how much it reduces this distance exactly, so you have to try that out a little bit. Then another way of spotting is when you have an enemy in your line of sight, like that dude up there on the hill. You can see when I'm pointing my crosshair at him, he already has a red dot above the head, but that's only shown for me, for myself. But when I point my crosshair at someone and then click the middle mouse button, they're getting spotted. And you can still see them when you get your crosshair away from them. And these spottings are for your squad. They're not for your whole team, but they're for your squad. And you also get 10 XP for every spotting you make. And what you can do as well is when you double tap the middle mouse button, you can just mark a position as dangerous. So maybe there's an enemy hiding behind that hill. I can't spot him directly anymore. I just mark that position. But these spottings are only for your squad. If you want to spot enemies for your whole team, the only thing you can do is use one of the recon gadgets, like this arrow for example, and then every enemy that is below it will get spotted and highlighted for your whole team. But what you can do as well with the spotting system, and I think that's pretty important as well, is to kind of give orders. There is no real squad leader role in this game, like it is in most Battlefield games, for example. But what you can do is you just point your crosshair at an objective and then you mark it to tell your squad, hey, I will be going there. And maybe we should go there together, you know, to work together as a squad. What's pretty beneficial as well is once you marked an objective, you can also see a little bar above this objective that shows how many of your teammates are there in comparison to how many of the enemies. And this will give you an idea of, is your help needed right there on this objective or not? Right now, apparently it's needed, so we gotta go there. And when you're downed, you can still use this ping system to ping enemies around you. You cannot mark them like I said before, but you can double ping them as dangerous situation. So when a squad mate is rushing in to revive you, you can let them know, hey, there is an enemy sitting right there in the corner or coming around right here. And then they can kill them before coming for your revive. Another thing you can do when you're downed is if there's a medic around, you can see that down in the bottom right corner how many medics are nearby, but they're not coming around for your revive, or they're just sitting next to you and are not reacting. You can call for help. So you can either hold that button or you can spam it, whatever you want to. I think it has the same effect. And then your little icon that shows that you're downed will start to ping, and the medics will also get a little sound cue that tells them that you need a revive. And then sometimes this works out pretty well, as you can see right here. Now, a few more things about revives in general. First of all, as a medic, you can tell people that you are coming around. And as a medic, you can also revive everyone. But as a normal squad member who's not a medic, you can only revive your squad mates. And these are the guys in blue. And that squad revive will also take significantly longer compared to the medic's revive. Moving on to the last points of the video, there are several ways how you can resupply yourself. First of all, through ammo crates that you can drop yourself or get dropped by teammates or squad mates. Then every enemy that you kill will drop a little ammo pouch. And these can be picked up when you simply walk over them. But what you can do as well, which is something that probably a lot of people miss, is that the game also has these little supply stations right there. They're just standing right here, but they will give you ammo and heals right away. You just have to interact with them, and then they usually have a little cooldown, but you can also find them on the mini-map. You can zoom in the mini-map in and out, by the way, not the mini-map, but the big map, in and out, and move it around if you want to, so you can see a little bit more. And here you can see all of these supply stations. Keep that in mind, especially when you play as a recon and you might be a little bit more on the edges of the map for sniping, or you play as an engineer and you need a constant supply of explosives to counter vehicles. This can be really helpful instead of running around looking for someone to drop ammo for you. And these stations are also existing for the vehicles. So when you're damaged, you just drive closer to one of these stations. You can see down at the bottom it's reloading and repairing. And then 3 more quick tips. First of all, when you get out your grenade and then hold the left mouse button, you can cook it, and it even shows you a little timer that shows you when it goes off. Then when you play Luna, you have these EMP arrows, and you can hit enemies directly with them, and then they get kind of electrocuted and will die eventually. Now, when you get hit by one of those arrows, you can simply hold H and pull that arrow out of your chest, so you won't die. But you need to do this before you die, so you only have a very, very little time frame. And then as a last tip, if you play a shotgun, they usually have a very wide pellet spread. Some of them are one shot on a certain distance, like this one. If you get really close to an enemy, that's one shot, but on a longer distance, they're not one shot anymore, apparently. But what you can do is you simply aim down sights, and then it's one shot again, because aiming down sights narrows down the spread of the pellets. That's a mechanic a lot of games are using. Delta Force is using it as well, so keep that in mind when using a shotgun. If an enemy is further away, aim down sight and they're one shot again. And that was it for today. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, leave a like, comment below, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman, and you are awesome.